Om, Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. And of course, welcome to our friends who have had to get up especially early, many of them, to be in Satsang with us this morning. And full welcome to you. And very much looking forward to our time this morning. Very good. Thank you. Okay, you come.
Thank you very much, Mooji.
Hmm?
It's been a great, thank you very much. It's been a great privilege, and I felt such grace flowing from you from the first day. Even I saw you on YouTube a few months ago. I saw you in Sahaja and was very happy and privileged to talk to you.
Thank you.
This is my head rolling on the floor, still talking.
Your head is rolling on the floor?
Yeah, still talking, as you said this to me.
I'm not hearing you so well. Maybe their head is on the floor. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You said this to me.
Yeah.
Your head is still rolling, is still talking while rolling on the floor.
Yeah, I said.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel privileged having been told this. It makes sense to me now. And to me, there is only the grace. I feel your grace flowing over me, and that's all I can say. I can put this at your feet. It's all I can say.
Yes. Drown in that grace, then. There's only one grace. Drown in that grace. Meaning, leave everything and just be immersed in grace. Can you hear me clearly? I'm having a little echo here, so it sounds a bit distorted. Drown in that grace, and you'll be fully alive. I remember Jesus Christ saying like this: unless and until a seed falls to the ground and dies, it doesn't sprout and become a tree. The seed must not stay only as seed. It has to spring into life. It must die as a seed before it can be manifesting as a tree. So when you are immersed inside the ocean of the grace like that, and you must have an intuitive sense of what it means. It means a surrenderedness. You recognize the grace, you recognize it, so something just clings to that and be one with that. And it is amazing that when you are so single-minded, it's still very echoey for me, if you don't mind. When you are so single-minded, you're so universal, actually. It seems to the logical mind, it cannot be like that. Oh, if you're single-minded, then you're blocking everything out. But I am saying something to the contrary. When you are single-minded inside your own being, in your own heart, you become universal. You're corresponding to the entire universe. You have to prove it, me. Don't just believe me. You see, when your mind is sitting inside your heart, all this becomes very clear for you. It just becomes clear. This is the beauty of real knowledge, real understanding, because it's merely being unlocked from within you. The knowledge that seems to come from outside is often merely what I'd call information. You cannot know the divine, you cannot meet or merge in the divine only through information. Something must merge here. And to merge, you must not hold on to your old idea about who you are. Because an idea of who you are is not you. So it takes a certain, I don't know if earnestness is the word, but something that just lets go.
There is still mental movement, but I don't want to pretend that I don't care about it. I really don't want to mind about it.
You don't want to?
To mind, to give it any energy or...
What movement are you talking about, for instance?
Mental movement, mind, thoughts of...
Some thoughts you will discern, no? It's not that you are afraid, no thought, absolutely. No, some thoughts, they are pragmatic, practical things. You cannot just be hiding behind with thoughts. I don't feel one needs to be afraid of thoughts. And more so, as you come into, again, the field of being, you will not be intimidated by thoughts. You will see them more clearly for what they are, and that they have no survival without your identifying with them or your being personal. When a human being is living personally, you are living in your weakness. If your experiencing is predominantly personal, you are not living in full power. You see? Because it's like a minefield. Mind becomes like a minefield. Because every little thing hurts, every little thing matters to the person. Have you noticed or not? You know? How people speak to you and what they say, and it's important how they perceive you, and you, even if somebody make a mistake in your name, if your name is John and they call you Juan, no, it's not Juan, it's John, you know, as though it matters. You see? So this is all the idiosyncrasies of the ego state. You're not John, you're not James, you're not any of these things. But when we are feeling insecure, which comes with the state, when the consciousness is narrowed down to believe only that it is the body and the conditioning in the body, then it is a very vulnerable state of being. And you find that it's nobody is so determined, so skilled, so experienced to avoid the ego and its tricks. So therefore, the emphasis and the effort, if you want to say, of spirituality, of any true religion or spirituality or such, is to induce or to stimulate or to pull the beingness from the position of the person into the presence, into being presence, you see.
But how then do I avoid this identification with the actions? Because I acknowledge that my believing that I am doing something is really standing in the way between me and your grace.
This is maturity. You are maturing. You see, as long as you believe in your thoughts and your identity, you will not feel the pain of them. You will not acknowledge the limitations of them. It's only as you are growing sufficiently wise to see, wait a minute, my own thinking is my problem. My own mind is now is my obstacle. You see, that is a maturity. When you come to that stage, then one begins to discern, actually, we're not a couple. We don't work as a couple. As I said, you, the person, and your ego mind is the most miserable couple on the earth. Always some conflict, and this person and that person, and why do they people? It's not a wholesome state. You see?
Yes.
So first, you must begin to a bit suffer it. But the suffering produces the aspiration to come out of it. Otherwise, why would you feel to come out of it? Because you suffer it.
But there is forgetfulness. I feel I have this aspiration, but all the time fog is coming.
While we are under the spell that thoughts are much more than they actually are, then you will feel also the suffering from this lapse of attention, which is how is experienced, like you forget, I forget, this type of thing. Ultimately, you're going to see that even remembering and forgetting is unreal, in fact. Even forgetting and remembering are states which are unreal. The fact is that you know you are. I am, you see? And then somehow there's a feeling that you forget something, I forget to be, which is nonsense. You cannot forget to be. To be does not require being remembered, actually. It's just somehow an awakening comes where this delusion that you can forget yourself or remember yourself, which is a lower expression of consciousness, we are presently somehow caught in that belief. You're going to see. Right now, I don't feel to go so much into that.
But still, I could forget all this, like this guy in the Matrix who just wants a big steak.
Actually, at some point, you're going to have to forget everything. You'll forget everything. Meaning that you'll forget them because they're presently too important. There's only one thing that is above and beyond all of that. And that is the pure self, which is the God self, which is the same one. And this same one is miserably misunderstood all over the world.
But that could still be in a few lifetimes.
Oh dear.
You
We have
say
come to put an end.
eventually, why not now?
You stole my line there. You have to prove it now.
Everybody's stealing everybody's lines.
If you speak like that, you have to stand behind your words, and you have to show something now. I wasn't expecting that. Why not now? Why not now? Huh? There's something even more alive than the event of now. Now, beyond even the concept of now. What is that, you see?
Yes, we have been there together once.
Why been?
I forgot.
Why been? Been means past. There is no past in it. There is no future in it. It is beyond the time. Your move.
Of course.
Why are you arguing and defending your mind? You see? You know, it might be another few lifetimes and more lifetime for that which has no life. Maybe one day you'll say also, I don't have time for something as trivial as the mind. Maybe one day you'll say, maybe today, you say, why not now? Why I don't have time for something as small as the mind. No, that's true. Psychological mind. Practical mind, of course, I have to do things. This mind functioning is fine because it doesn't leave any bad smell. But the psychological identity and the insecurities and all of that, that somehow brings a kind of claustrophobia inside the beingness. But that claustrophobia is important stage while the beingness is under the hypnosis in believing that it's merely a person. It's going to get molested by the manifestation until somehow it's triggered inside the urge to come out. Not just the urge only, but the power, the emergency. It will begin, like I say, as an urge. Some urge to. You started already by saying, I want to divorce my mind. No? I don't think you said like this, I want to divorce my mind. And then somehow there's an urge to that as quick as possible. This marriage is over, we want to now divorce now. I don't want to support that wife or that husband, that mind. So I want to get out. So it becomes an urge. Then the urge becomes like an urgency. After urgency, emergency. Emergency means, no, I can't. Not one more day, Mooji. Not one more minute. I can't take it. Then something has to give, isn't it?
I feel I have had this urge even for many years.
Now I have to ask you, who are you?
Yes.
I really know it's time. I've held back. And now I have to ask you, who is speaking now? Really get into it. Put some images onto your words now. Who exactly? I have been at it for years. No? We all feel we know who we are talking about. But now let's introduce. You speak anywhere, nobody argue. Yes, I've been trying for so long. I've done so many retreats. I've sit in a cave naked. I've done all these things. I've prayed underwater. I've done everything, okay? And yeah. So now I am asking you, who are you who is doing all these things? And don't give me some head answer. Identify now for your own self first, and I will also get it. Everyone should do this. Nobody in the world is doing. They're too busy arguing about it. You do it. When you say, I have been, struggling for years, go to the struggling one. Identify him. Has it got gloves on? Struggling.
Yes.
Really try, because here your mind becomes very lazy to look. It's not lazy to talk, but to look become very lazy.
Also, you are doing it for me.
Okay, not anymore, you do now.
There is this fear that when I walk out of here, I'm back and...
Who is the one who will walk out?
Yeah.
Will somebody take me seriously, please? You wake up in the morning early to come here. Good Sunday morning, everything. Then, please, accept my words as though they are true. Follow what I'm speaking. Because then you will prove something today. But if you hold back a bit of what you want, a bit of what I'm saying, then we're going to have this. Prove me wrong, and then leave me alone. Send me on my way. Mooji, you're no more use to me. I tried yours, it doesn't work. But try it first then. When I walk out of here, again, you see, the story continues. When I walk out of here today, all so and so, as what are you going to walk out? As who are you standing here today? Just go in a little bit more. We are so comfortable with language. We speak so many things that when I'm asking you to look at them, you don't know what you're talking about. We don't know what we're talking about. You're like a parrot. A parrot is speaking, like that. 5 plus 5, 10. Parrot. 5 plus 5, 10. I got a parrot. Look, ask him. 5 plus 5, 10. Okay. 7 plus 3. 5 plus 5, 10. You see? So speak things don't understand. So you and I, all of us, we speak many things because it's been handed down to us from, it's a lineage. But when you ask about it now, you must speak for your own self what you mean by that. We don't want to anymore. Sometimes we're speaking, we have to stop and say, can we redefine, or at least can we first try and see if we're on the same page. When you use words like I, or truth, or God, or self, or consciousness, can we redefine them or look at what they mean so we see that we're on the same page? So you know you're speaking, and
there is this fickle little crack where presence is shining through. We have done this together before, and I keep referring.
who is perceiving, or what is perceiving this crack through which presence is pouring through? All foolish things. All foolish things. Everybody's speaking foolishness. It is true. Everybody's speaking foolishness. Because the ego, without being somehow immersed in the heart's energy, it speaks foolishness. Very clever foolishness, very amazing foolishness, but it is a foolishness. If you don't know, when you say I, what it denotes, the sense I, what it arises from even, and even the sense I is felt, what is even aware of the sense I, which is the most purest, the most pure, the earliest language when it says I. I do, I think, I want. What is this I? We have to at least go back to the fundamental things that we speak and understand them. Simple. Once you have unlocked the meaning of them internally, then you have conquered language. Just like you go to school, you learn A, B, C, D, if you're English, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right down to Z or Z. You learn them. And with that structure, we can create a language that can express the most subtle poetry. But there's no poetry in the alphabets. You have to learn them, and then something can use them. Once you've understood, you go back down to the fundamentals of understanding these simple things which you're pointing out, then there will be a change in the way in which we are perceiving the world if it is not rooted in a harmony or in real understanding. We're seeing that mostly we are speaking propaganda and projections and fantasy and all type of things. And we can continue that because there's fun also in that. Fun and lot of mischief and lot of other terrible things also possible there. But in real understanding, something the heart feels clean and light and full of love and openness, and you're unafraid of both life and death, like that. So it is worth it to look and start with your own self. A human being can travel all over this planet and know very little of the real self. On the contrary, someone could live in a cardboard box in the corner of some city and be universal in their being. Totally. Don't travel one mile, 1 kilometer away from where they are and be universal in their presence. What makes that difference, you see?
Is it courage?
Some more than courage, not courage. Not courage.
You said
I don't know if it is
unafraid,
courage.
go unafraid in the heart.
Yeah, but it's not by determination or courage. It's by illumination, it is by insight, it's by understanding, it is by direct experience. You've come here you must be for direct experience. I am not a lecturer. I don't have a lot of things I have to tell you, oh, remember, like this. You somehow must assimilate what is being shared and confirmed in your heart, you see, and then it becomes integral knowledge, and so yourself somehow radiate that understanding through your presence. You don't have to go and speak anything about satsang. You don't have to use any words about satsang. But if you have imbibed it, if you have absorbed it, then you'll find that somehow the world is responding to you in a different way. I don't think the planet needs more scholars,
No.
but maybe more saints.
Yes.
The ones for whom belief is not enough, experience wins the day. This is the life, you know. Otherwise, it's just information. We are very proud. This is the age of information. We don't need more information, actually. Okay? We may be attracted to it, we are fascinated by it, but it doesn't bring you into a very wholesome way. It doesn't help you to understand this world inside your heart, or to love the beings here, or to be generous in spirit, or to be unafraid. It does not give you that, just information. And the ignorant mind loves information. Yes. Okay.
I have this.
Let's leave it like that
Yeah,
for
okay,
now. The urge has to be more strong, you see? More strong now. So just sit for a little bit and see how, let the cooking carry on.
Thank you.
Right, so, you come for me, right there, quickly. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste, darling, thank you.
So I met you last year when I was in Rishikesh for another reason, deep in sadhana.
Yes.
And I lost sadhana once I met you. Because you said to me, let everything fall away. And so much in the last year has fallen away from my life.
Happily?
So happily.
Oh, good. Beautiful,
So beautiful. Fear for the most part, except for right now. I'm terrified to be standing in front of you. I am scared I'm standing here prematurely. I was going to wait.
Slow down, wait, you said...
I'm scared that I'm standing here prematurely. I was going to wait until there was an absolute question that I knew for sure, but the deepest question is that I am here for freedom.
Yes.
And I want to check in with you and make sure that there's not any kind of inertia or like not enough fire burning, because life is very beautiful right now.
Yes.
And there is a great sense of contentment and a lot of ease with witnessing the mind. And so that's my question.
When you ask, for instance, who am I, or who am I, or what am I, where am I? This question, no? If you ask this question, no? And do you feel anything tangible, like, some measurements, some descriptions, a resume coming up, or whatever? What do you feel when you ask this question? Gently, like, who am I? Who is here? And you just look, just be very empty and feel what actually is here. Who am I? If you do this, and then do you have a description coming up? Do you have a shape? Well, this is how I am. Do you have a psychic photograph of yourself, or as some entity moving? Or what is the response? What do you find?
I find when I ask that question from my heart, I don't find anything.
Yes.
And sometimes my mind wants to say that that's a potential problem to not know who you are, but it feels not like a problem.
Very good. Very good. You see? No one really has been conditioned, educated, no, to be nothing. To be something in the life. You must become the best something or somebody you can be. This is the general conditioning all over the planet. And so we try as best to be the best. And some people attain, for a time, the sense of being the best. I'm the best of what I've reached the top. And then a lot of people are after you, to see if they can go past or something. But to be the best is venerated. It is felt, it's something tangible. You have an award, people acknowledge, you have fame, people acknowledge this person is top of their field, top of their game. But here, something is different. You have a sense of what that is. But whatever achievements, attainment one gains in the world, and it is fine. It is fine also. There's a motivation also to use your faculties and to taste and enjoy and to know a bit about the life at different levels. And nothing wrong with that up to a point. But when that's only what you know, then you see, but wait a minute, everything I know, I was once the fastest guy in the world. We have in Jamaica, the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt, the fastest. No human being recorded has ever run faster than this guy. Okay? No one has done it so far. But a lot of people now know that it can be done. And that freedom is there. Now somebody's going to go after it. But at some point, that record will be broken, something will change. Usain Bolt will grow older, he'll have a beard, he will talk about, one day I will... Okay, so we know everything changes like that. But you are looking now at something inside. Before also, perhaps you had a lot of sadhana, as many people here. We're in Rishikesh, a lot of yogis. People are also striving to come to the top of their craft or their art of whatever yoga they are doing. And some of them have a lot of things. You also tasted that, and you say something dropped away a bit. And in the dropping away of this sadhana, in your sadhana, you found immense space and peace and a depth to your own being. And I asked you, are you happy? You say, yeah, happy. Now you've come to check in a year later. My life has become more content. I feel more at peace. Something feels good. I'm wondering, could I be sort of like becoming complacent or something? Is there something more I can do? Because the life is nice at the moment, and maybe if life is very nice, maybe I don't feel to do any sadhana. You see? Some people would think, but isn't that what the sadhana was about, to get to this place where everything is nice? You see? If I get to a place, huh?
There's still a longing. It's not all the way
good.
home.
Very good. This longing has come from some place deep. Go to the place from where even this longing has emerged. Where did this longing come? Longingness, this longing. Where did the longing issue from, you see? This longing. It will take you, something's taking you there, to that place. You said, when I asked the question, please check in when you say I. Is there any content inside the I? Does it have a past? Does it have a sort of like some certificates with it? Does it have something it wants to say about itself? And you have said, well, no, not really. That's not there. That's already a beautiful sign. Meaning that this kind of psychic construction of a person, a three-dimensional entity, is not such a strong thing anymore. Still, you are, but it's not depending so heavily on the bodily identification. Also, the mind and the mind's play something is aware of that. It says actually something is apart even from the mind's play, which is always coming and going. There's something more stable here, more stable. Can that which is stable be identified in any phenomenal way? Or is it the stability itself which is perceiving everything else, and that you are that stability?
I feel like I really trust the process, but I don't feel like I have very much patience. I'm ready to just throw it all out, to burn it all, to just...
You're not ready for that.
I really want to be ready for that.
Maybe you don't have to do that until or unless there's really an urge recognized in you. Now it's time to throw everything in the fire. Don't go looking for fires. Okay? Don't go looking for another feeling. Just as you are in your here-ness, like that. Any action, it will be seen, experienced in the field of your own awareness. You'll see the action. Okay, I throw everything in the fire. That's done. But the awareness cannot be thrown in the fire. I feel impatience. Impatience is a sensation you have, a kind of sense of restlessness and the projection. That is also seen. But awareness is not restless. It's not impatient. None of these terms somehow describe awareness. You're always looking from this awareness. Simply stay like that. Yeah. If you feel somehow, I'm enjoying my life and so on, and then you start to find that there's I and my life and my joy, and they become something, but what watches this? And you see that there's just the awareness, but the life can continue being expressed, it's okay, but the awareness somehow underlies every movement, every thought, every sense of your own being or your existence is a movement in it. This is the shape your sadhana is taken now. Very subtle thing, you see. It's not necessarily any physical, it's not any particular asana. This asana is simply to keep your mind inside your heart. This is best asana.
It's very subtle. It's
very subtle.
Even being here, there's been some question arise because when I listen to you, I just feel you. I don't really have words to say what happens for me when I'm sitting watching live satsang. And so it was at first a little disconcerting being here because I was hearing people's questions and descriptions of what's happening, and I don't really have those words.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you hear, it's okay. Don't block it. Just be like the space in which those voices have their time to speak. That exchange has its time to happen. But somehow there's a bigger listening. You're in a bigger listening, not a personal listening. So don't be locked into your little submarine and, like I say, just sort of, living in your little bubble. No, you're in a bigger listening. Your field has become more panoramic. You see, that's what happens when the movement has taken place from just a person who is very much a tribal entity into the bigger listening, the bigger sensing of life. So I sometimes talk about this, and I gave an example that a few years ago, in fact, I was in Rishikesh at the time. And then I left from Rishikesh, we went down to Delhi, and from Delhi we were going to go down to Tiruvannamalai. It was the year of the tsunami. And somehow we stayed, we didn't go there because it was a bit confusing whether it was safe to go down there and people were coming up. And I looked at this tsunami thing, and there was clear to some people that there was some change in the atmosphere. Those who are sensitive enough, they must have picked it up. something tremendous is about to happen. A great shift in the Earth's movement is taking place. No, there are a lot of human beings on the beach enjoying. There's the sun and the music and so on. But the fishes are. Somebody was talking. He said, "I was scuba diving just before, and it was very strange. I went down. There was no fish." You know, I've been to Koh Phi Phi, this place. I've been down there. There's so much fish, too much fish. But this moment, no fish. But it didn't click. You just, oh, no fish. Let's go to another place. The crabs are moving off backing up. The birds are flying away. The ants are moving in place. All most of the beings, they are moving. They have a sense that we just need to go. But the human being is the last to click on. The waves are moving, but the insects are moving, the birds are moving, you know, the trees, oh, they would like, oh, everything, but then we are the last. Why? Because you're not tuned in. We're not tuned in. Somehow our intuitive abilities are not venerated in life. So we don't listen to that. We are more into our more cerebral space. Some of you may have known people who left their bodies in that period here. You see? But we're not tuned in. This is what I see like this. We just stay in the great buzz. But the bigger listening, the more sensitive feeling. Not that you're listening out for that, but you intuitively get tuned into, you know, I think we just need to, I don't want to be here right now. Let's just go up, and I feel like going up to see what's on top of that hill. It's not that you're thinking, oh, I think the tsunami is coming. But you have a sense, you know, I feel just to go now from here. And somehow that is in the vibe, so to speak. So there is something, when we're too much in the person mode, the person is locked into their own little space. But as consciousness, you know, this a much wider field, a more generous field. You see, if you think, you're thinking greater thoughts, not just little tick, 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 tick. In greater proportion, in greater movement, you can move. You see, this is the fruit and the fragrance that come from that sensitive understanding and beingness. You stay as that awareness. Stay as that awareness itself.
I love you, Mooji.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, please come, you. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Mooji.
Hello, darling.
I'm a little bit shaky, so I came up because I wanted to share with you and thank you that I'm so happy also to share with you that finally after so many years of tasting the honey, but still holding on to some major, like identifying with the body, finally it dropped, you know, in this last few, I mean, even in the first satsang here, I finally dropped the idea. And I feel so...
Yes. This is very beautiful.
Yeah.
Because you even will continue to feel that something is much larger than we have imagined. What is the size of you? The size of your body we can see. Size of the body. But is it the size of your consciousness? If you're 2.5 meters tall, does it mean that we have 2.5 meters of consciousness in there? Stuffed consciousness, right? The top screw the lid on, and this is inside consciousness. No. The body has a size, consciousness is sizeless. It has no boundary. So therefore, and you're not doing it actually. You're just somehow, the smaller sense of yourself is melting into the larger beingness. Sometimes we have a fear of that because for a while we have the sense that we have the sense that I like being me. This is fine also. Why you like being me? Because this me is really the consciousness. You see? There's no such thing as ego by itself. It's not possible. The ego is also consciousness. But it has adopted a lot of ideas around itself, and so it's a bit confused by them. This statement I made, we want to taste the honey, we don't want to be the honey. We want to keep tasting even spirituality, to experience, yes. But then to come back to the person as the taster. There's a separation, you see. But as something is merging inside, you're feeling that I don't know where the taster end and the honey begin. Isn't it? I don't know the distinction now between the taster and the honey have become one. The taster and the honey become one. Because when you're the honey, it's not that, well, there's no taste, there's nothing to taste now, because I am the honey, I have to wait for a bee to come, or I have to wait for somebody to come and lick me and watch them enjoy themselves, because I can't enjoy myself, because I am that which is being enjoyed. It's not like that. So the taster and the honey, one thing. If you're only the taster, you will taste and then you have to leave the honey. But when you're the taster and the honey, there's no departure. It's win-win, isn't it? That must have been a very beautiful discovery.
Yeah.
Or discovering, let's put it, because it keeps on discovering.
Actually, I had, it was due to ignorance. Somehow, even though I heard it so many times, it didn't click in. I had this idea that because I was practicing with the body so many years, I had this idea that I need the body through the body it's all happening. I had this idea and I couldn't drop it until just recently in the first satsang, I saw that beingness is there and the senses are there too, but they are not the senses are in the beingness. It's not the other way around.
Yes.
So this
good.
is like, this
Very
was
good.
a big one.
Very good. Very good.
So maybe some little weeds are still there, some ideas.
They are sprouting inside the beingness, but the beingness is not corrupt by them.
I can see them now, and they're all collapsing.
Very good. Today, we have a shorter satsang today, because I accepted an invitation, and it's a bit vague, but I said, okay, I'll do. Let's see if we can also bring in this clarity that you speak about now, And I would like to invite you just to sit. Yeah? And again, we will just kind of try and confirm this through your own seeing, your own experiencing now. You see? All the things we think about actually have no reality in themselves. They have no independent reality. They only are appearing to be real in your mind. Someone is sitting next to you, they're not having anything to do with what you are thinking. Sometimes if your thoughts are very virile, then there's an energy that arises out of this. And sometimes this can be felt by others. It's not attractive. People more move away from that. As you're sitting here now, you can start just somehow just staying in just the awareness of yourself. I'm just sitting here. Very simple thing. We are not creating anything now. We're not going on a visualization trip. Simply, you're sitting here. You're here. It's the most natural thing. The body is moving because there's air coming in and out of the body. This is natural thing. You're aware of that. You're not doing this. It's simply flowing by itself. Also, the senses are functioning by themselves. They don't need anyone to manage them. Therefore, sounds are floating through in a sort of space, a space in which they are perceived. You can hear some sounds that feel more distant than others. Let's see. Some sounds are near and some seems more distant. There's nothing you have to do to perceive this. This is the marvelousness of consciousness. That spontaneous discernment. Still, pay attention only to your beingness, your sense of isness. I am just here. Senses are functioning. They don't require any special attention. The senses are not clashing into themselves or into each other. Everything is smooth. If there is some discomfort in the body, it is easily detected. And you may have to move your limbs to find a bit more comfort. This is all automatic, nothing special. What are you exactly here? Don't create and don't imagine. It must already just be. That which enables all the sounds to be heard, the temperature to be felt, smells, which is aware of the bodily sensation without doing anything at all. All these functionings are taking place inside your being without the feeling, I am doing anything. no doing. Just a beingness. You are not creating this. You're not making anything happen. Simply, you're in your own awareness field. That's it. If there's any restlessness, it is easily detected. But the awareness itself is not restless. Notice this. It has no shape. It has no edge or boundary. There's a sense of spaciousness. But it's not just space. It cannot be defined. It is without form. Remain as only the awareness itself, so that if thoughts come, nothing has to be done about them. There's just a sense of some movement, almost sometimes like an invitation to connect with some kind of thought, but this is easily discarded for you. There's nothing to pick up. There's nothing to change. There's nothing to possess. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to heal. There's nothing to change. There's nothing to become. So your being is totally at rest with itself. But even if there is some sense of restlessness, it is perceived. There is no need to identify with that. It is only a sensation. Stay as the awareness. This is the most natural. It is unchanging. Who is being advised to stay as awareness? Because the awareness simply is. It does not need any advice. It does not need any advice to stay as itself. So to say, stay as the awareness, only applies to your attention. Let the attention remain one with the awareness itself. If it is unable to do this, if the attention is running out, it doesn't matter, because it is in the awareness that this will be noticed. So, stay as the awareness. There's a stillness here, a silence here. But awareness is not being still. It is not being silent. It does not do silence. Silence is like the perfume, the fragrance of this awareness. There's a sense of emptiness, but there's no fear. Be aware of this. There is no need to become a shape. Yet the body is not being rejected. Also, you're not waiting. You're not waiting for any experience or anything to come. So, no next. Simply, you're here. There is neither patience nor impatience. Notice this. Sometimes you may feel, I've got to be very quiet and I've got to be very still. These are merely thoughts arising in the awareness, which is effortless. Notice this also. Spiritual, unspiritual are meaningless terms here. Simply, you are. In this sense of being, there is no natural boundaries. Again, you'll be aware of this. You are not an object, though objects can be perceived. Thought can be perceived. Every sensation, they are perceived, but nothing is being picked up. Let everything simply float through like clouds passing. In fact, they don't have to move slowly, they can be at whatever speed. Any sensation, any phenomenon can appear in its own speed. Whether fast or slow or still, it makes no difference. It makes no impact upon awareness itself. There's a feeling of space, but awareness is even more subtle than space, because even space is being perceived in it. Here, you have no color, no shape, no design. These are all images in the mind. They're fine for daily living and for communicating, but here, in the depth of your being, nothing, no descriptions are required. Recognize this deep within your own self. I have no categories. I belong to no tribe. This sense I is beyond male or female. It is not a belief. It is not imagination. All these you can perceive. They come and go. Let's take a look at the sensations in the body. You may feel even sometimes a sense of heaviness. If there's a sense of heaviness in the body, this is also a sensation. And this heaviness has no identity. You are not heaviness or lightness even. If you feel the sense that there's a kind of feeling of sleep coming into the body, simply be aware of that. Again, it is only a state, it is only a sensation. Awareness is not tired. It is never excited. Notice this. Be empty of all descriptions. See how well you are. Do not combine any concept with a sense of self. And the highest of these may be the sensation of just existing, the sense I am. The sense I am. I am. Am means to be. I am. Now I. What is this I that am? I am. What is I? Who says I am? Does it have any shape now? I am. Now, some qualities seem to want to join with the sense I, but they are not naturally one. Just the sense I am is a subtle intuition, maybe the sense of presence is simply here. This sense of presence is the most pure. The feeling of being, of existing. You are naturally aware of this. It has no information about it. Notice this again. Just a feeling of being. Also, you're fully present and awake. You're not sleeping. But now there's harmony in your being. You're not pursuing any thought or any intention now. Therefore, there's a nice relaxation there. This relaxation can be enjoyed, but it is also perceived. Don't cling to any sensation, however beautiful. It is not needed. Let the sensations simply happen. Awareness is not happening. It simply is. Now, normally there is a feeling of holding onto or retaining some identity. But this is not a need. This is not a need. Notice this now. So any clinging to, oh, I need to be like this, or I need to be like that, simply notice that and see it for what it is. It is only a thought shape, a concept. You exist before even such thoughts come. You are without beginning or end. But all thoughts, all systems, all beliefs, they have beginning and end. Now, it is not necessary to throw anything away. Simply leave things and rest in your awareness self. So again, no amputations, no surgeries. Simply bring the attention to rest in yourself, the awareness itself. Again, you're not creating this, we're not imagining this, simply you're observing. The feeling of sleep is always close. Be aware of this. But it is only also another sensation. Stay as the awareness again. A thought may come that it is not possible to live like this. It is not possible to live like this. But don't cling to such thoughts. You're not living like this. You are this. You're not living like this. You are this. It is already so. Life unfolds in the presence of this. Let it be. Let it dance. It is not necessary to suppress the body's activities unless inside your heart you discern the wish to move in some way feels more in alignment with your heart, then move as you will. But know deep within, I cannot leave my awareness self. We are one. It is one. As we come to recognize this, you'll see that your actions, your life expression becomes freed up, more intuitive, more spontaneous. Life expresses spontaneously. This is real health. Again, notice that there is no force that is required because you are not creating something. You're simply noticing. You're not watching a movie. You're not looking at yourself. One is looking from one's self. And all that we see emanates from the same source. Notice this peacefulness, which is naturally here. It is not a byproduct. It is not a product. It is like the fragrance of being itself. It is inexhaustible. There is no need to try and hold on to peace. A flower does not try to hold on to its fragrance. They are one. Relax. All is in place already. Simply acknowledge. now there's only awareness itself. There's no one being awareness. Simply there's awareness, you see. The sense of being, all the activities of the mind and the body are arising by themselves. The functioning of the senses is happening by itself. No need to interfere with this. Simply be in the joy of your own observing. Again, whether an action is dynamic or gentle makes no difference to the awareness. Again, confirm this for yourself. There is no special way to be. There are no special ways to be. Do not be concerned about that. Simply allow your attention, your mind to rest in your being. This is all. From here, understanding will take place naturally, automatically. And great peace will continue to be experienced inside your being. There's a sense of wholeness and harmony. Belief is not even needed. And you will continue to grow in trust. Our nature is peace and love. We don't have to cultivate love necessarily, although to do so is also fine, until you discover the fountain of love is within your own being also. There's no need to strain to learn and learn and learn and study this universe. As you come to your own realization of the self, wisdom will automatically emanate in you, sprout in you. You will see this, you will notice it, and it will happen quickly. All good qualities manifest spontaneously in the natural mind. Very good. Now today, as you move about, with this oneness of mind and heart, you'll see that things unfold much more smoothly. Efforts will be less needed, more joy, more space, more silence. All this will be your environment, your inner environment, more like that. When you are here, I want you to also observe, find out this that you are experiencing now, this awareness and the joy of harmony, of awareness itself, can it fade? Can it fade? Only you're in the position to answer this now, to see for yourself. Can it go away? Now I can ask you this question now. That which is naturally seen and experienced within your own being, can it go away? Simply, attention goes back again to the mind and the activities which seem to create a kind of eclipsing of our intuitive centering or our intuitive recognition of our timeless self. This is what happens that seems to cover up our being and create a sense of fragmentation. But naturally, this is our natural state. This is your natural state. Outwardly, it does not matter if you walk quickly or slowly, if you are doing activities which is very dynamic or activities which are very quiet. It makes absolutely no difference. Therefore, let your life express itself in its natural rhythm. Don't try to look spiritual. Don't try to come across in any kind of contrived way. Be kind with your energy. Understand more and more. Understanding will sprout more and more. Wisdom will sprout more and more. All the things that I've been sharing with you, you are going to come to confirm for yourself. You see, grow inwardly, widen inwardly. This is the natural way. And yet, you will also notice that your awareness itself does not get affected by any sensation that arise either in the body or as thought or feeling. They can all happen. So like this, all is good. Oh. May all the beings acknowledge ourselves more and more in this way. Rather than thinking about our being, rest in your being. Rather than living life, be life. You are life like that, see. And swiftly, the binding weeds of the mind, they will fall away. They have no reality apart from themselves. They cannot live independent of your interest. Very good. Thank you for today. Very good. I will need to leave actually now. I accepted this invitation to go again to Paramat Nikatan. I'll be there. As I said, I don't know what is their schedule. They simply invited and I said yes. So it's like this. Some of you, if you want to go there, or that you are welcome. We will see what happens. Somehow it's fine for me also this expression, but we will leave it like this for today. If we have a chance to meet and to continue there, we will see. But I cannot promise. I'm not in that position right now. My heart is with you. Well.